Puerto Rico to South Africa. It's like you're living the dream.
It is pretty cool. And so unfortunately, one of our best friends passed away and she was a nurse. And so we are building a nurses clinic. And I talked to the team and I said, hey, would we be open to dedicating it to her? And they're like all over it. So they say, great. So we've been doing fundraising through, because the husband's like, I don't want to do a memorial. I want to do that. Can we just donate to you guys? And I said, hey, I got a perfect um, project. And so he loves it. So we've now been raising money for that in honor of her, which is a wonderful thing to
Is she,
make.
are you going to be putting her name as a,
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll show you real quick. It's pretty fun. So yeah, it's quite nice. And so we're it'll be a wonderful thing to not only build and work on, but, she was a nurse and really liked, um, all of that was an important part for her. So let me do this.
You know, this is the next conversation I want to have with you about
Mhm.
decentralization and tokenizing real world assets. And
Yeah,
it's wonderful that I saw your background. I was like, wow, finally I can talk to somebody who really understands where this is headed. And
yeah,
so we could use this as a use case um, for a possible tokenizing of the real world asset so that you can continuously have, a utility moving towards the funding. This could be a
yeah.
use
That
case.
would be wonderful. So yeah, so tell me a little bit more about that and how that might work. So
This is beautiful. So has it been built already?
no, we just laid that. Literally, they just poured the foundation yesterday, and then we're gonna fly out there, and then we're gonna build the build it so it'll have an office, a little bit of storage, washroom, areas for waiting, and then if we're going to have visiting nurses or doctors, there'll be a place for them to sleep so that they can stay there for a couple 3 days and serve. So not only will it serve the school, but it'll also serve the community.
Fantastic. How many
Yeah.
people will it be able to house?
Just one person, well, or a couple. It's a double bed, so
Okay.
one or two people. But we've also got tents in the area as well, and there's Shalati Reserve, which is like a 10-minute drive, and they've got accommodations as well.
Okay, so give me the overview of the Abundant Village nursing so I can play it out in my head.
Okay, so we talked to the school, and we've completed at the school. We've refurbished 4 classrooms. We built 2 outdoor classrooms. We built 3 different types of gardens. One that has spinach, and the other has fruits and vegetables, and then we have a food forest. We built a labyrinth that also includes a for mental health, and then we also built a kitchen that has a rocket stove so that all the smoke goes high in the air and no one has any issues with smoke inhalation. So we've done all that. Now we're going back to the same school, said, what else do you need? They said, hey, we could really use a clinic here for sort of cuts and scrapes and bangs because there's, the air hospital is like 3 hours away. So this won't be a full medical clinic, but it'll have, sort of first aid and things like that. And then people in the community that have issues can also come to utilize that as well. We're going to double the size of the gardens, and then we're also going to we built a mental health program, and so we'll be delivering it that week as well around breathing, yoga, movement, perspectives, and things like that. So, and then we're also updating the soccer field and getting a whole bunch of new sporting equipment for them.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Yay, thank you for doing
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'll keep it simple. I'm a part of the digital world and digital world assets and a clear community. And clear community is tokenizing real world assets. So you're familiar with the digital domain and how the digital
Mhm.
domain works, right? Essentially, when you are in the digital jurisdiction, you're under the digital. rules.
Right.
Under a corporation or an entity or nonprofit, and it's under a jurisdiction, say South Africa or California, you're under their guidelines and they own you,
Correct.
right? They own you. They own your corporation because you're under their umbrella.
Right.
So you are susceptible to all their laws, which includes taxation and so many other things. Okay. In the digital world, when you're working with digital currency and you're under the digital domain, I'll say digital 100 million times, it's so important knowing where we're headed when it comes to the power of community and how it's powered with its currency. So currently, do you have a token or how do you exchange value on that property? Is it the dollar?
It's dollars,
Yeah.
dollars and rands. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so currently under that moniker, you are you're in fiat land. And it's no bueno. No bueno.
Right.
So what we want to do is we want to give you a digital LLC or a digital corporation, and we want to give you your own tokens as a utility token. We'll create your own kingdom, and in that kingdom, you'll have all your assets. And we will tokenize those assets that become the value of that community and can be exchanged within your own marketplace. And then when people actually need liquidity, they can exchange it for USDT or USDC. The interesting thing right now, and I'll give you a real world example. The interesting thing right now is the digital world and Clear are actually creating their own exchange. So you can
Okay.
actually do it under a wrapped BTC under the DBTC. I think that's how it goes.
Right.
Correct me if
So,
I'm
so that they would be a master nonprofit, and we would be a sub under their master.
That's correct.
Great. Okay.
You would own
That
all
that
of
is a
you would own all your digital rights though. It's a little bit different. We would own no rights.
would
And
handle the compliance.
it's all handled. So when you do, it's a DAO.
Right.
It's
Right. So if it's a DAO, there's still so and I don't know how the rules have changed since Trump got in, but the rules for a DAO, somebody has to be named for a DAO. It can't be so decentralized that no one has a figurehead because if rules are broken, someone has to fix the rule.
I'm
So
telling you right now, that is, again, anonymity is number one. The way that they've structured this platform is that you have a derived key, and so you can remain with anonymity. If you choose to,
okay.
yeah. It,
Look, I'm all over figuring this out and not going to jail. So if
oh yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah.
really cool way to do that, then I'd love to
Yeah,
learn more on that.
I am 100% with you on that. And right now, if you I will obviously this is just kind of a pre-call to who I would
Yeah,
introduce
yeah,
you.
sure.
Let me see here. So go
And
to
what's the name of the Clear community? Clear.
here, I'll put all of those links right now. So go
Cool.
to Hopi. Actually, let me put the links for you. Make it simple. Oh, I got a million things opened up over here. It's under digitalworld.earth, but clear.co. I'll send it right here. You want it in your WhatsApp, right?
Sure, yeah. Digitalworld.co.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the links so you have them.
Okay.
Just make sure I have the right ones. Yeah. So go to Hawaiian country. So what they did is they have a whole council and governance. and all the services that they provide. And you can just kind of thumb around here under the top. Let me do this. I can also share my screen.
Hawaii country,
Yeah.
Hawaiian country dot flat.
Yeah. So here we go. The Hawaiian Kingdom. You see, I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So what you do is, let's imagine, what would you call this kingdom of sorts? What would you call your kingdom?
The abundant village.
Yeah, Abundant Village Kingdom.
Yeah.
Be dot life, it could be dot society. They have a bunch of different platforms. So we build out this whole kingdom for you, and it would have very similar breakdowns explaining how this is all for the community and it's governed by the community. It would
Hmm.
also list, if you chose, the general counsel. Now, this is again up to you how you want to list it. Some people show their face, some people do not show their face. They only show their derived.
Okay. Okay.
It's really up to the individual. But because we are fully tokenized, this allows any track, trace, and monitoring of the system of actions taken. There's no more KYC because it's tied
Okay.
to you and this the we'll call it the token. Okay. So any action that you
Okay.
take within the kingdom is by this key.
Then I have a hard stop in 8 minutes.
I also have that's great warning. Thank you.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, so I would prefer if I had my senior, actually I would put him on a call with you, the founder of Clear.
Yeah.
So we could walk through this in a thorough presentation, but you can see there's just different levels and that you have the homework now you can thumb through. You have
Sure.
a pretty good context because of your background. All the questions you have, feel free to just, put them through your research. And then once we get on a call, yeah, it'd be great. So what we're doing right now is, let me do this. What we're doing right now is we're onboarding as many countries, as many kingdoms, as many societies, as many communities as possible. And then once
Okay.
the exchange isn't fully launched yet, but these have worked. You will have your own currency. You would have your own QR code. You would have your own, make sure you're right here, wallet.
Okay.
So here's my DApp, and then you would have all your assets here. Your marriage
Gotcha.
certificate, your birth certificate, anything that you wanted to put here, you can then become a citizen of your kingdom, which
Right.
all gets
Okay.
valued under your net worth there, and you can use
Gotcha.
currency.
All right. And then what is it, how does this work financially? Like how do you guys make money? How do you guys like to charge for these things?
Yeah, so setup cost depending on how many assets that you want to have tokenized. It's not as simple, but it's not as hard as some think.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we need to make sure that all the governance, first, we have to make sure that you are in out of, well, actually, if it's South Africa, let's talk to Michael about that. I know for the
Okay.
United States, we're going through Wyoming. He was on the legislation board for the actual DAO creation, so he knows a lot about the legal side. And your number one question as we begin this, you'll be in good hands.
Nice. And so who helps to manage this? Because while I'm blockchain literate, I'm not deep in sort of the nuances and all the management of this. So if this came to me as a
I build out your team.
pre-populated,
I
you
buy.
do. Okay.
I build out your team, and then you act as if we are, the advisory, but we would actually be counsel.
Okay. All right. And then if somebody wants to donate Bitcoin, they can, and we convert it to the abundant coin. And then they do things within our community, and if we want to pay people, we can pay them in abundant coin, and then they can convert it to USDT.
That's right.
Got it. And then, yeah, so I mean, it certainly sounded intriguing. I'm kind of mentally doing all of the logistics necessary for something like this to launch. So I don't know if you have, other than the Hawaiian life, is there anything else you have to
The
um,
Hopi country, go to Hopi.
Hopi?
Yeah, it's in the link I sent you. Dot
Oh,
country.
God. Okay.
We did it for the indigenous. All indigenous tribes are also welcome. So if you have any other council, we want to help all of them because they actually maintain the sovereignty of their land and is very valuable. And then we actually create the platform for them to have their own currency, their own driver's
Okay.
license, passports, all of that. This
And
one
so
is
you're,
relatively new, so I don't think how it shows a lot of the actions if you keep scrolling down.
yeah, I'm
And
on the
people put
digital
Hopi
world.
Pay, right? This is basically you could put this on your store. We could create one for you too in your stores around the neighborhoods that people can use your currency. How cool.
Gotcha. Yeah. So then if I put my marriage certificate up here, is it more valuable if it's because I've been married for 31 years, or it just is worth whatever we stated to be worth?
That's a great question. I can't answer that, but I would imagine it is worth more value. It's more,
Okay.
do you have any kids?
2 kids, yeah.
Okay, your value just went up.
Nice.
Yeah,
Finally.
this is, I know, right? Instead of you spending money.
Yes.
This has been my dream. I cannot tell you. After 2005, when I had the car accident, I came back with all this knowledge. And it was just one thing after another. I just had to figure it out, right? And then Burning Man told me so much about the gift economy. And then I became an ambassador for sharing economy. Then I became a spokesperson for trade and barter systems. And then when I finally met my match, Michael, when I introduced you, I was like, oh my gosh, you've done it. You're doing it. This is great. So now I just have.
Nice.
Mhm.
That's wonderful. Well, yeah, I'd certainly like to learn more and figure out the economics and figure out the logistics and the compliance and all of those details so that I don't do any accidental footfalls. Because, when you go create your digital world, you're still operating within the default world. And I just want to make sure that whatever I take on is going to be additive and not risk
So
inducing.
100%, my love, 100%. So here's what's on the table, and I text you this. My intuition says once you go through it yourself and you see the process, that you become like a team partner,
Mhm.
and then you onboard more companies, countries, people,
Nice.
individuals. I can
Nice.
see that being extremely lucrative because we actually receive the tokens and we actually can exchange it for fiat if you need to. We have credit cards already, we have license plates, we have the whole thing.
Wow.
Phones, we have nodes that we're selling, we have storage. Yeah, it's all under the clear. But you'll see it when you
Wow.
go there. Yeah, it's pretty
Cool,
solid.
cool, cool. All right. Well, I will take a look at all of that. And then should we connect when I get back, or did you want to try to squeeze something in before I go, or
Let me
what's
see what let's see what Michael's schedule looks like. I would
okay?
if you can send me, do you have a like a summary of everything that you told me?
At Abundant Village?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can send you a summary, and if you go to abundantvillage.world and click on our projects, it lists it there as well.
Okay, I'll share this video recording with that document and we'll be ahead of the game. Let's see where the
Terrific.
meeting goes.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Brandy. I really appreciate you thinking about me, and thanks for all your great suggestions. And I'll go implement a few of those tonight.
All right, tell wifey I said hello. Tell her I
I
can't wait
will.
to have dinner again.
You bet. That was fun. All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, honey.
Cheers. Bye.